me. We are live, season 43. It is the Merge episode. I'm here with Alex Trias. Jonny Fairplay is in Boston, I believe, tonight, if I'm not mistaken. He's doing so many of these live appearances and viewing parties this season. I can't keep track. But last week, if you're one of our patrons, you can listen to our weekly Q&A where Jonny talks about the one they did in Nashville last week, him and the Queen and Figgy. Sounded like an awesome time, and I'm sure it's an awesome time that they're having tonight. So, Alex Trias, you've been a part of the Reality After Show team for a long time now. I mean, Zach Hacker was part of the team, and then he moved to Morocco, and you started joining us on the podcast doing coverage of the challenge and some of the shows that I don't watch. And you and I, when Jonny's doing these live shows, are holding down the fort. And then Jonny does an additional podcast covering the episode with our friend Wayne, who he's been doing the last couple with. I don't know if he's doing that one this week with Wayne, but on the Reality After Show Network, you not only get one, but you get two podcasts. So if Jonny is out, he does one afterwards. I tell you what, Alex, finally, I'm digging that there's not 3 tribes anymore. There's none of these tribal councils with a little bitty group of people. We have a large amount of people. Even tonight at Tribal, Jeff's like, this is a lot of people. It's merge time. First impression, what did you think of the episode overall?
Yeah. It was an interesting episode. We were talking briefly before we started up. I felt it sort of created this hodgepodge of like the new style edit, but it brought the old school back in where you had those episodes back in the day where it was the story of how someone went out. They didn't really sugarcoat it to the audience. Like, it's very clear this person's going to go out. There's some other things that could happen, but this person's leaving. Yeah. And here's all the things that lead up to them going. So in terms of that storytelling, I thought they did a great job tonight. I will admit, I wish Ellie won this war with Gabler. Because,
dude,
as we go into like the scramble part of this episode, he might be a bottom 5 Survivor player of all time.
Yeah, it's funny because my wife Tess and I were watching the episode, and she did not watch like I think she was only watched like maybe tonight and then like last week or maybe the week before. So she only watched like 3 episodes. So she didn't watch the beginning. So she's still trying to learn these players and stuff. And she was just like, God, that guy's he's kind of an idiot, huh? Like, I was like, yeah. And he's like a heart surgeon guy. But in the game of Survivor, Gabler just, I don't know. I don't even know who you compare him to gameplay wise. I mean, he says the most random stuff. He has zero filter at all, which is fine. I'm fine with no filter in certain scenarios. But when you're playing a game like Survivor, you can't just like blab your mouth and just throw everyone under the bus and talk all this smack without there being consequences. He just blatantly says stuff right out in the open to everyone.
No, this is like Redemption Island recruit like style of player. Like there's
no one's gonna trust him, dude. No one is gonna trust him.
No, and like that was the thing. Like he said that he dished during like the merge feast about what Ellie allegedly did, which she didn't do. She did not go for the bag. It was Janine. Yeah. But he said he wanted to do it to show that he could be trustworthy and decisive. I don't really think you hit either. Like it just comes across that like, oh, you have an issue with someone from your tribe. cool, we'll vote them out. That means we don't have to vote one of our own. You dished on your tribe. You're not trustworthy.
Yeah.
Why would we depend on you?
Right. I mean, the thing about Gabler is like early on, it seemed like he was having a lot of trouble physically in the game. He
Mm-hmm.
was like sleeping around camp a lot, not wanting to do much. Um, and then just his strategic gameplay is zero. He's like not somebody that I would ever be able to trust with information at all going deep into this game. So I think his days are numbered, or someone's going to be like dragging him to the end
Yeah,
just as a
go.
number, and there's no way he could ever win the game.
Right. Like, there's nothing that he can do at this point in the game, in my mind, where he would get a vote at a final tribal council. Like, his own allies don't like him. So why would anyone else vote for him?
I know. So the episode starts off, Alex. It's day 12. Coco gets tree mail. It's drop your buffs. James is like super excited. A couple other people are like jumping up and down, but Carla is kind of like, like Carla is smart because she's not getting all excited. And people realize, look, this is a drop your buffs thing. But if you've watched the last couple seasons of Survivor, you know that it's not just as simple as that. So I like, the fact that there's a little bit of twist here. Sometimes I'm against like certain twists, but this merge twist, I think I'm kind of cool with it, because it's not like it goes directly into individual immunity and that person's immune, and then blah blah blah. It just kind of makes that first tribal at merge a little bit more intriguing, I would say. Are you a fan or no?
Like earning the merge of it all.
Yeah, earning the merge.
I mean, it creates I guess like a different atmosphere for the episode. You know, because let's see, I'm trying to think of the right words here, but I think like there's a fear of like, oh, everyone gets to merge, and let's say they're doing the merge now, and clearly the first person at the merge doesn't make the jury. So the
Yeah.
way to avoid having that issue where some people have the problem with you merging and someone still being voted out, not being part of the jury, say, well, you're still earning the merge.
Yeah.
So this isn't like it's an individual game now, but you still have to earn your right to be at the jury phase now that we've started the individual portion.
Well, it's kind of a kumbaya moment for a second. All the boats kind of show up on the one beach. Everyone's like, "Oh, hi! Oh my God! It's so great to meet you." Cody though is like, "Come on!" Like everyone's like excited, but he's skeptical, as I would be too. Shit's about ready to hit the fan. And then Owen starts kind of doing this confessional where he is laying out who has advantages and idols, and there's a tally that starts coming up on the screen. And there are so many things already that people have that for me, keeping all that stuff on track is kind of difficult. But it is crazy that a lot of people have these advantages and whatnot, and they don't have a vote, and someone's got an idol. So, is that, are you able to really in your brain as a viewer know what's going on with all this stuff?
At this stage in my life, yes.
Yeah.
I'm able to recognize what's going on, but it makes sense to remind the viewers because not everyone's going to be like that. Not everyone's going to remember all these things that people have, because if a tribe doesn't go to tribal, it's outside out of mind.
Yes.
So you have to have those points of refresh, and it also helped that you have people that either intentionally or unintentionally dish on stuff that happened. And so like we see in real time the other players figuring out what do other people have, just through deduction. Like Carla finding out that that Cody has the idol from Desi because of Noelle's story, where Noelle doesn't even know it's an idol. She was just like, oh, he made this hat and he took we gave him all of our beads to put around the hat. And so Carlos was like, clock up. He has the idol. We
Yes.
know that.
Yep.
And you have Noelle also telling Owen, like, oh, the thing that you guys got me was to steal a vote. And then, like, I can see that part. I think I'm okay. I think usually I'm a lot more critical of people telling secrets and all that. But I think Noelle, in this point in time, like, you're trying to build more than just your tribe. You're trying to build more alliances. And I feel like her going to Owen doing that is like showing, oh, I want to show you that I want to work with you. That it wasn't just me using you guys to get something.
Yeah,
I
right.
want to use this to advance all of our games. So we'll see how it happens. We see on the next time on that Noelle's being targeted as a head honcho. But, sometimes you need to keep things a little more concealed.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing, is like, it is kind of crazy how everyone is throughout this season kind of blabbing to others what they have. Whereas, we're on our Patreon side, when we do our weekly Q&A, we also are watching old Australian Survivor seasons, and we're watching Australian Survivor All-Stars right now. And there's some people that have idols, maybe multiple, that they're keeping that, to themselves, right? They're like, Australian Survivor players are not as forthcoming with, they're just keeping it a little closer to the hip.
And do you think that this is because maybe this is just something where, while new Australian Survivor has started more modern, like it started in the mid 2010s.
Yes.
But, it's not even at season 10 yet.
Yeah.
It's like, do you think it's, even though it's modern age and they've seen all of Survivor, they're like coming in and they're like, oh, well, my favorite player was Fairplay, or some were Russell Hanson, and, all these like classic players. And they bring in, and since the game's new, even though it has all the new twists and advantages of modern Survivor, they're like coming in with that mindset of like, oh, but we have to make homage to how the greats played it. And so we're going to be more conniving. We're going to be more hide things in our sleeves. Like, you're not going to know everything that I have. But once I roll up that sleeve, it's saying this isn't just a tattoo under here. It's an idol.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty fascinating thing to think about, because, yeah, is that the case? Are they paying homage to the OGs and stuff like that? Because that's what it appears to be. Because everyone on season 43 and even recent seasons, just, there hasn't been a lot of like evil gameplay and like true villains and ruthless. Now I can see Carla. I see Carla kind of becoming that this season. I'm trying to think who else.
I feel like Cody's a villain. Like,
yeah,
like he's rootable. Fans will like him.
Yeah.
But like, you hear his confessionals and they don't come across as like, oh, I'm the nice guy. I'm here to be nice with everyone. So fast forward now, like, everyone knows it's the merge. They all get to Baka's camp. Baka camp's going to be the main merge area for them to be at camp. And everyone's, going like, being nice, buddy, greeting everyone like, oh, I'm so happy to meet you. And Cody's just like, everyone knows we're lying, right?
Right.
Like, this is Normandy. Like, he's pulling out World War II references. I'll be like, we're about to drop some bombs. We're about to like slit each other's throats. There's gonna be dirty gameplay. But I'll be nice to their face.
Yeah. I hope that Cody sticks around and turns to be some really bad guy. I'm curious to see if Fairplay will, because Fairplay doesn't like Cody too much. But if Cody becomes a real villainous guy, I wonder if Fairplay's opinion will change.
Well, and to be fair, Fairplay's opinion is he may not like the guy, but he knows like you cast him immediately when you see him.
Totally,
and,
I hear you.
Yeah, like, and honestly, we have a more downplayed Cody at the moment. He's not the focal point of the story. He's a target.
Yeah,
but he still has his idol now.
He does. So we go to where they're going to do this challenge.
Yep.
And basically, The deal is it's a merge, but you have to earn the merge buff. So what they're going to do is they're going to break up this challenge into 2 teams or tribes of 6. There's going to be one person that's going to everyone's going to draw a rock. The person that draws the gray rock does not participate in the challenge, and they get to pick which of the teams to kind of go along with, and that is the team they have to ride or die with. If the winning team the winning team, if the person that draws a gray rock is with them, they automatically make the merge. If not, they don't automatically make the merge, and they're able to get voted out. So a lot is on the line here. And like I said, I feel like it makes the stakes a little bit higher. And I think it makes just for a little bit of interesting gameplay. Can you explain kind of this challenge, kind of a new challenge? It's almost like you got some American Ninja Warrior
Right?
stuff in here.
Yeah. So before I go into that, I agree with you. I like this format. I like that also Jeff was very in front, like out in front with everyone.
Yes.
He was like, this is how it's going to do. It's not like 41-42. You win this, you're safe. No one can take it from you. There's no twist that can take it away from you.
Yeah.
You win it, you get your buff, you've made merge, you made the jury portion of this game. I like the component of the person who gets the rock to be able to play, essentially just bet their game and be like, I believe these 6 people are gonna get me to merge more than these 6 people. Because in the world where she doesn't hit, hey, you have a bunch of people looking at her, be like, well, you didn't vote for us to win.
Yeah.
Like you bet on the losing horse. Bye. You didn't compete. But yeah, so for this one, it was like this big obstacle course essentially where in 2 teams of 6, you remove a bunch of debris to get, I think it was like 20 bags onto a platform to reveal a sled. And then you have to haul that sled around to carry 6 crates that you turn into a staircase to retrieve a set of keys. You then have to go up the Ninja Warrior ramp that has like a little, because they know it's not Ninja Warrior, they luckily put a rope net at the very top for you to grab onto. Once all your team's up there, you then unlock your puzzle pieces and you do a survivor word puzzle. First to win wins immunity. The other 6 or potentially 7 will go to all of them will go to tribal council, but those will be the people vulnerable to not earn the merge.
Now, here's the thing that couple things from this. Yes, that the Ninja Warrior part of this, which is like in a BMX world, it's like a quarter pipe or a vert wall, and we would ride up stuff like that. So yeah, if they wouldn't have had the net there, there'd be no way that Carla and certain people, or a lot of people, wouldn't have.
A lot of them,
because it was pretty tall. In addition to that, Noelle is obviously drew the rock, so she's not competing. I don't foresee Noelle with her bionic leg being able to run up that.
I think they probably end up. She would probably just be in a similar position where Cassidy was, where they had her get onto 2 of the guys' like shoulders, and then they like bumped her up to the point where someone could grab and get her to the rope at the very least. Yeah. So I don't think it's impossible, but like, yeah, she wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, it'd be tough. And I will say, we've always said this in the past, like there's a lot of luck involved in Survivor. So Noelle happened to be the person to draw that rock, and her fate is up in the air based off of a guess. Because when Noelle is looking at the 2 groups of 6 about ready to compete in the challenge, she's like, wow, even Probst is like, this looks dead even physicality wise of the split. So she ends up picking blue, and she ends up, just rolling the dice. And this challenge is crazy because it ends up becoming like a pretty close challenge.
Yep.
Becomes like dead even. And that's why in Survivor, there's always the great equalizer, the puzzle. But I want to go through like when the Ninja Warrior course part, the vert wall, Ryan's technique of hanging upside down like
Right?
Spider-Man, that was impressive.
Well, you know what else was impressive while he was doing that was Gabler headbutting Carla in the ass
I
to
tried
try
to
to.
get-
I
I
did
know.
not understand what Gabler was trying to do at first. Like, obviously, the first attempt was getting him to be one of the people up on top. That didn't
Yes.
work. So suddenly he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna keep running up and headbutting people up," and
Yeah.
I was just like, "Hey, it worked."
Yeah, whatever works. I was like, Ryan was like beast mode because I was like, there is no way hanging upside down with his feet in that netting and trying to like manipulate Carla up the top of that wall. That was pretty impressive. But once everyone gets up, it's the puzzle. It's like the red group is still in the lead, uh, and it becomes a really close challenge during this puzzle part. And then I think it was it Ryan or James? Like someone started knowing what the phrase was going to be, but they were like, "Hey, keep it down. Don't say what it is." But at the end of the day, the Blue Tribe wins. Which at first I thought Noel's picked the wrong group, but
Right.
she picked the right group. They came back. Um, and I like this challenge. I really Survivor's become so predictable, always being in Fiji, always having the same, kind of things like we've seen the walking out, having these like little journeys and stuff like that. So to see a different challenge was a breath of fresh air for me. Then we go to the merge camp where Ellie is like super bummed.
Right.
She is like devastated.
Yeah. Like I would feel that way too. The ball's in your hand. You take the shot and you airballed it.
I know.
Time buzzes out, and now you're suddenly like, "Oh, am I about to be cut by the team?" Like that was
I know.
bad. Like I should have won this. We didn't. Now I'm vulnerable. Um, yeah, and so like obviously she's gonna want to be more proactive and figuring out who do I target? Like who are the people to go with? And we saw prior to the episode, or prior to the immunity challenge, like she also had a phrase that you shouldn't say. It's like I'm so much better at this social game than I even thought I was going to be. Like
Oh,
I
that
had
was
this on lock. Um,
dude.
but her plan was we used the momentum of that one, like the one challenge where Vessi worked
Mhm.
with us. We'll
Yep.
make a Vessi Baka super majority, and we'll take out the remaining 4 Coco members. So in
Mhm.
this case, that's between Cassidy and James, but James seems to be more of the outward player of the two. So let's go and take out James.
Mhm. Which I was not. I like James a
I
lot,
like James too. James lost his voice. I
dude.
felt
He
so bad
did.
for him.
Yeah, I was like, one, like, man, his voice sounds all crazy, and but I was like, please, yeah, James, and even Cassidy. I think Cassidy's got a lot of game in her,
Oh yeah, I
and
still think she makes a deep run. I felt this is the moment where someone like her would be like most vulnerable.
yeah,
Was this like she was vulnerable at this vote? Gets 1 vote cast against her, and it was just basically a throwaway vote.
yeah.
Um, I see her going into finale night.
Yeah, so the talk in here, Elias. Let's put the vote on Cassidy and James, and then there's talk about Cody. Like, let's get Cody out of this game. Everyone knows, Cody seems like somebody that could make an immunity run in this game. He's a pretty physical player, and but I don't. I'm like, dang, I don't want to see him go either. Um, so Ellie and James are talking because yeah, they want to work with the Coco people, and she tells James she wants Cody out, but James doesn't trust Ellie as far as he can throw her. James is not a dumbass.
Yeah, I was gonna say it shows that he's a good player. Like some people would brush off the fact of how Ellie approached that with
Yeah,
him, at
right.
where she didn't give the name. It was like one of those. Well, like obviously I want to work with you guys, so I'm not going to vote out you or Cassie. I'm not going to target the other people on my tribe that are vulnerable. I can't vote for me.
Yeah,
So he's like, so Cody.
yeah.
Yeah, Cody.
I
But
know.
just, I get it. But I hope this is like a lesson for people that are like the gamers, the game bots, like the super fans that are being cast on the show, is you don't need to be coy all the time. You don't like, it's okay to be showing yourselves as a proactive game player, because what Ellie did wrong here was she was being proactive, but being proactively like leading, where the person knows you're trying to lead.
Yeah.
The art of the game is getting them to do what you want or deceive them without them realizing it. And that was just something that she did not have. She had like, and I don't mean this in a negative way. Ellie had a little bit of an arrogance to her, where the first vote went how she wanted it to go, and suddenly she felt that, oh, I can do what I need to do and it'll work, because it worked before. Right. But you never went to tribal again to sort of be humbled into knowing what actually would happen.
Yeah, and like I said, she this episode, she was really coming across as like, I really know how to play this game, and so yeah, but yeah, she's not playing with dummies. Like James is very smart.
Yep.
And I think he's methodical. With this whole game, James has really been thinking about really what to do and making smart moves.
Yeah, he's the king, as he said in the first episode. He's the king. You'll think he's a pawn.
Yep.
Until you're the one who gets checkmate.
Well, before we get to the merge feast, we're going to have a quick word from our sponsors, and we will be right back to talk the second half of this episode. We'll be right back, you all.
Support for Reality After Show is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. That's right, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code SURVIVOR at manscaped.com. If my math's correct, that's about 12 million balls.
The Performance Package 4.0 has arrived, and oh man, is it a game changer. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies.
First off, the Lawnmower 4.0, this trimmer is the future of grooming, and dare I say, the greatest ball trimmer ever.
Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to help reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof and has a 4000K LED spotlight that you need for a more precise shave.
Now, I have a dark shower curtain in my bathroom, and I've been looking for the perfect way to shave in the dark, kinda. Guess what? I found it. 4000K LED. No longer a problem. I got perfectly smooth, clean balls thanks to the Lawnmower 4.0.
It's time to take care of yourself, so go to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping with the code SURVIVOR. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code SURVIVOR. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Thanks for sticking with us through the ad break. And don't forget, for more exclusive Reality After Show coverage, visit realitypatron.com. That's reality, Patron.com.
We are back, and if you all love podcasts and you are listening to the Survivor podcast that we're doing for Survivor 43, there's a lot of other content on the Reality After Show podcasting network, Big Brother coverage, challenge coverage, and then, like I said, on our Patreon group, we do Australian Survivor. We do a weekly Q&A. It's my favorite podcast that we do each week. So, yeah, check out realitypatron.com. It's the best way to support the podcast. And we are back here talking season 43. It's merge feast time. Noelle is like, hey, I haven't had any real food in like 13 days or whatever it is. And I will say I'm a little jealous because I made the game 16 days before I got voted out of Survivor Caramoan. They're already at a merge feast. So I'm like, dang, as much as I hate the 26-day format in comparison to 39, I'm like, wow, I would have actually made the merge. You know what I mean?
There you go.
So Noelle wants to eat food, but all Carla wants is to drink some beers.
I just want to chill right now. I just want
Yes.
to chill. I want to have a good time. So, and then the tension rises, as Carlos says, and the people start talking about, well, what are we going to do here? And we have two people who just play this completely awful. You got Ryan. Ryan's like, yo, guys, we won that. Final 7.
I know.
Final 7 right here. We can win all the challenges and send them all packing one by one. What do you guys all say?
Oh, terrible. Clueless. Like, I understand he's in the moment and he's excited that they're there together, but the gameplay strategy of that, just bringing that up, is just dumb.
Like, even Rupert, who he wants to play like, knew better.
Yeah, I know. And then Gabler, first of all, he immediately starts throwing Ellie under the bus to everyone, giving away way too much information. He doesn't even know what's going on.
No.
I don't know what he's doing. It just proves just how, I don't know. I don't even know how to.
Like we sort of discussed earlier, the issue was it was him feeling like, oh, I'm clearly on the bottom here. I have clear targets in the 2 girls on my tribe. Let me throw them under the bus, but particularly Ellie, because I believe Ellie's the one who orchestrated the search of my bag or whatever nonsense he wants to believe. Right. Like, and it's true. Like, they did check the bag. That all happened. Yeah. But it's, when you hit a part of the merge and it's just like, you have the numbers. Like, that's a future problem. I was saying in one of my chats, it's that old saying of, I would rather have the enemy that I know than the enemy I don't. Yeah. You have 2 tribes you know nothing about.
Right.
You have 9 people. No, 8 people. 8 people that you do not know that are at your camp right now. And you're deciding to dish all these secrets thinking that, oh, well, they will now think I'm trustworthy to them.
Yeah.
I'm one of those tribes. I'm like, cool, we'll do that. But you just exposed your tribe's secrets. Why would I give you any information?
Yeah, because they're going to go blab the information out. I do not know what is going on with these people. It's crazy.
But like in particular him, because it's just like, you have to get past a grudge.
I know.
Like, I know Jonny loves his grudges.
Yeah.
But even he would be like, oh, well, I would do that at confessional.
Yes.
Like, right. He would never say that in front of 6 other people that you just met. Yeah. And also the person's number 1 ally is Janine sitting right there. And you're just like, oh,
yeah, because it's making Janine not happy. So yeah, it's fascinating to me. And that is the beauty of Survivor. Like, when we're sitting here dissecting and thinking about people's gameplay and talking about how dumb Gabler is and Ryan and stuff. On the other token, it is the beautiful thing of just bringing regular, just normal, different groups of people, a diverse cast of people to play this crazy game and just see what happens. Because I don't want to see the same gameplay season after season.
Yeah,
I'm fine with like being able to talk about someone that I think is a dumbass. I want to be able to talk about someone who I think is an asshole. You know what I mean? And I think that's where the problem lies, is like everyone a lot of times right now is like so nice, so kumbaya, and so honest that that's, I think, what a lot of people's beef is with Survivor. There's not a good versus evil thing going on, but I think there will.
But look no further than this Baka tribe, because if you wanted confrontation and people being stupid, but it's entertaining, this is what the next 10 minutes were. Because we start off with the end of all that at the feast with a confessional from Gabler, who, in his infinite wisdom, like, so the plan for why I threw out Ellie's name, the objective was to throw out Ellie's name. Yeah. And I'm like, really? Really? He's like, I want to look decisive and trustworthy by by revealing the secrets of my tribe and trying to vote out one of my own,
Yes.
even though I don't like them. Which then leads to we have more of the like Ellie trying to trick Cassidy about the Cody vote and securing that, but then everyone else starts talking. James starts talking to Cody, and Ryan gets filled in. Ryan fills in the rest of Coco tribe of like, hey, Ellie's the one who's doing all this. Like, we have to vote out Ellie.
Right.
Meanwhile, let's just focus on Baka. Because Janine tells Ellie,
Yep.
Gabler threw you under the bus. Like, he said that you searched his bag. He said you did this, and the other thing. So, but Ellie immediately confronts Gabler.
Yeah.
And this was one of the funniest conversations I ever had because, like, technically, both sides are right. Technically.
Oh, yeah.
But should you guys be doing this?
No.
No.
I mean, because they're arguing. Ellie's like, I never went through your bag, and Gabler's going back and forth. No one's budging. It's kind of like when you're in like an argument with your spouse, and no one is willing to just accept defeat and try to move on and come up with some sort of, solution. It just was like,
and
no one's gonna budge.
And not only do you not get a solution, Gabler then goes, or Ellie's like, well, who told you that I did these things? Oh, well, Sammy and Owen.
I know.
My two allies told me.
Yeah.
That,
which is totally nuts.
Which then she then goes and confronts Sammy and Owen. And you that's the moment where you literally see Sammy. I wouldn't be surprised if they had a camera on the other end that we saw like a brown leakage from the other side.
Right.
Because that dude was crapping his pants.
He
over,
was
like being confronted, like, oh my god, my game's been exposed. She's gonna turn this around on me. Now I have to take her out. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And then they get through all of that. And I love Sammy and Owen just looking at each other like, Gabler, man. Effing idiots.
Yeah. I mean, he's in their alliance and they're like, you know what I mean? Like calling him an idiot. I don't see how anyone in the right mind could want to like seriously work with Gabler at this point.
No, and it was this like perfect storm. Like they never went to tribal again after the Mariah vote.
Yep.
And even after the Mariah vote, if they went again, they still wouldn't be able to take out Gabler because you would believe, even though he didn't want to play it the first time, that he would play the idol the second time. So it's like you're sort of handicapped with him, knowing you're gonna go further with him. So like Sammy at least does the move of like, well, let me get him close to me.
Yeah.
He won't betray me if I'm the one giving him information.
Right.
But when you're dealing with a wild card, you can't even rely on that. Like, because that all sounds good and logical. The issue is it's good and logical. And you're talking about someone who's an illogical player. So it's just like,
do you think that he has a shot of like going deep because people just want to take him to the end? You think he'll go far?
I think one of two things happens. He gets like either to like fire making or a losing finalist, or they do like the double boot episode where you split the tribes in half and he has like a Roxroy moment where he just gets like yeeted out.
Yeah. I forgot about Roxroy. Man, but yeah, but I tell you what, the amount of shaking my head and smiling and like, what the hell? If it wasn't for like Gabler is making this episode entertaining by his
for sure.
You know what I mean? Like I know Gabler, if you're listening, I'm sure you freaking rule to hang out with.
Oh, I believe outside the game, he's probably a really cool dude. Probably has a lot of stories, a lot that he probably can't say.
Yeah.
I'm covering for you, Gabler. Like, we know you can't say a lot of stuff, HIPAA and all that, but I'm sure he has a lot of good stories. And also, like the tattoos. Like, he has all the tattoos. There's stories there. Like, there's definitely something behind him. Like, you wouldn't be cast otherwise if you didn't have something behind you. And he may be a frustrating character, and you may not be rooting for him, but boy, is it entertainment.
Dude, it's complete entertainment. And you would think he'd be like one of my favorite players with the facial hair and the tats and stuff.
Yeah, it's you.
But so yeah, it's you're entertaining me, Gabler. I'm curious to see. But so we go to tribal council.
Well, the last thing before tribal is mainly the one glimmer of hope is Janine's idol.
Yes.
And Janine and Ellie are talking with each other, and Janine's like, Janine at the time is at least telling Ellie, I think we've calmed everyone down. I think we're good.
Yes.
But if there's any inkling, I will use the idol for you.
Right.
So I believe, based off how the vote went out, because I did see who voted for who,
Yeah.
I believe there was a conversation between Janine, or maybe through all of Baca to cover Janine,
Yeah.
because Owen is the other vote for James alongside Ellie.
Yeah.
And my like cracked head of a theory is just that they did that in order to feign that Janine voted with Ellie, so Ellie wouldn't blow up Janine's spot.
Yeah. Right.
Like, just focus your anger, have her focus all of her anger at Gabler and no one else.
Yeah.
Because I believe as they go to tribal, Janine knows. Janine is one of the 7 votes against Ellie at that tribal.
Yeah. So she doesn't want to give up her idol.
No.
So, because it's just like, wow, you made merge, and look, there's gonna be some people that are gonna get voted out of this game. That's the way it works, and you don't want to like jeopardize like her game over something. So yeah, going into tribal, Gabler is like, I couldn't believe how chaotic it was. I couldn't just relax and let my food digest. Like it was like nonstop strategy and talking and craziness, and I'm like, welcome to the game, brother.
I thought I could kick my feet up and relax. I had immunity. Oh my God.
I know it's crazy, and then even Cody's like, "Yep, it was crazy. This is a complicated game, and it's game on now." And it was like that's the one thing I enjoyed, was just the back and forth conversations and gameplay leading up to Tribal Council. Various people's names were on the table of potential votes, and people are actually, this is exactly where people are really going to start playing the game. Are we going to see just some great gameplay emerge? Are the 2 tribes that were working together when it was
Right.
helping each other out, are they going to stick together? Is stuff going to blow up? I don't know. Ellie, she's completely freaked out at this tribal council. You're not as freaked out as the one girl who basically got voted out just because of her paranoia. But yeah, I mean, Carla's like, look, there's a lot of advantages in play here. We don't know like how many exactly there are, but we know that this is Survivor 43. We've seen the past 2 episodes on TV. We know like some people aren't going to have votes, and that's what it was like tonight. That adds another layer of complexity. Some people they won an advantage, or they risked something and they sacrificed their vote. So it does add layers of stress. And like I said, there's a lot of luck involved in this game, because anything can happen right now. You have 6 people who are safe. They already have their buffs around their neck. And then, I don't know. I like this tribal because I've always said this. I'm not a fan of 3 tribes, because when the tribes go to tribal, it's such a small tribal. There's not a lot of just dynamic conversation to be had with such a little group of people. So I like being able to see these larger groups of people. This is where I'm really excited to see the game of Survivor this season, is from here on out.
For sure. And it also shows how you can have a good episode almost like, at least for the common fan, I believe, have at least an 80% chance of knowing Ellie's the one going at that tribal and still being entertained all the way through it, despite it being like essentially a majority vote. Like they had a little bit of fun with like, oh, Ellie, James, Owen, Cassidy. Right. 1 vote for 4 different people. There's only 6 people you can vote for. Are we going to get a vote for everybody? And then James one more time. Then it's Ellie's all the way through. Yep. I enjoyed it. Like I thought it was fun. I thought it was a good episode. I love having the individual portion of the game begin.
Me too.
And I'm excited to see what type of chaos this cast is going to do, because this cast isn't just going to sit and be like, oh, well, we took one person down, let's just take the rest of that tribe down. Everyone has their agendas. Everyone's gonna get like an itchy trigger finger of like, well, I want to do that again. Let's blindside a different person this time. And I'm very much looking forward to see what happens next.
Yeah, I mean, Ellie, she goes out and in her, exit interview, she's lived the dream. She played hard, set out what she wanted to do, but this has got to be a real bummer getting voted out at this point, because one step away from the merge and jury and all that stuff. And I don't think so. Like, I was pre-jury, so like I went on a pre-jury trip. I don't think these people get to go on, like, I don't know if COVID was still overseas. Like, I don't know if they were able to go on a pre-jury trip like normal or not.
Right.
I don't know if that stuff exists anymore. So what a bummer.
It was a bummer, but hey, you would have to believe production liked something out of her, because they gave her a story.
They did.
She got more of a story than Sydney did on 41. She got more of a story than Lydia on 42, like the comparable boots, right before merge. She got to have a story. She got to have a rise and a fall. You got a full season character arc within half a season.
Yeah.
I hope that she enjoyed her experience. I enjoyed that she was at least playing the game. Like, was she playing perfectly? No, but you couldn't say that she wasn't trying to play the game.
Yeah, totally. No, I agree with you. We see scenes from next week where there's some sort of advantage underneath the shelter.
Oh, I think that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I do too. And we have players like Jesse, who really didn't get a lot of airtime tonight, and Cody Whip. There's a lot of dynamic players. Yeah. Carla, and I'm just kind of Cassidy. I'm pumped to see where this cast takes their gameplay, because I think people are here to play the game, and I think we're going to see some fireworks. Now, Alex, is there any announcements that you need to make of some upcoming shows for Jonny Fairplay? Because I know Jonny Fairplay always has something going on.
Well, I don't remember all the places he's going to, but if you want to go to any of the locations, you can find it at survivortix.com. That's survivortix.com. I do know that November, the day before Thanksgiving, Survivor's going to be on. We're going to be at Bolero Snort Brewing Company. I'm going to be there. Fairplay's going to be there. Multiple Survivor contestants are going to be there. And you never know who else may show up. And that one is survivorhomecoming.com. That's survivorhomecoming.com. Jonny will not be on tomorrow either. He's still going to be partying it up in Boston, Mass. So it'll be myself, Dan, Montchal, and Lauren Pratt covering episode 3 of The Challenge, Ride or Dies. And of course, if you want to have more content, Fairplay will have his podcast for this episode of Survivor with Wayne on Friday, I believe, currently scheduled. As well as, if you want additional, become a patron at realitypatron.com. You get the Q&A with Matt and Fairplay. It's our favorite podcast of the week for them to record, as well as their coverage of Survivor Australia, currently doing Survivor All-Stars,
which is freaking amazing as hell. And you get to be a part of our secret Facebook group just for patrons. It's a lot of fun. It's a great community. We've all become friends. It's not just like, I don't know. It's more than just like being a patron, I think. I think it's like the Reality After Show family. And I've met many patrons over the years, and such great, amazing people. And we all have this love for Survivor and other reality TV shows. So for those that do support the podcast via the Patreon, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Alex Trias, thanks for holding down the fort with me. I hope Jonny Fairplay had fun at the event. Was Boston Rob there? Probably not, but I did see Boston Rob is going to be at the Give Kids the World charity event in Florida, Saturday only. So he's making an appearance there. But yeah, if you have any opportunity to go see Jonny at a live show, do it. So survivorhomecoming.com, SurvivorTix.com, and just, follow Jonny on social media because he posts stuff relentlessly promoting all the stuff that he has coming up. So we will see you all next time for another podcast covering Survivor Season 43. Cheers. Good night, everybody.
And for more bonus content, go to realitypatron.com. That's right, become a patron now. Get additional coverage of all your favorite shows, the weekly Q&A, and you become a member of the secret, exclusive Facebook group. That's realitypatron.com.